Senior Munford cooking show. They will help you make food like a pro. Like a pro.
Okay, welcome to another episode of the Junior and Senior Munford Cooking Show. Okay, so this week we are going to be showing you some knife skills, how you can kind of make vegetables appear much better, and also some kind of nice stuff you can do with fruit as a kind of a bit of a table decoration. So Junior, talk us through what we're actually going to do to demonstrate these knife skills today.
So we're going to Julienne celery, carrot and cucumber.
Fantastic.
And it's basically, they'll look like little matchsticks. You might have seen it at sort of little gatherings. You have a bit of dip for them to go in. And
Nice.
they just look nice, they're sort of nice finger food.
Yep, cool. I mean, with these julienne carrots, you can also like cook them, serve them with a hot dish.
Yeah, you could
Is
roast
that
them with a roast dinner or something like that.
Fantastic. Okay. So first of all, Junior, are you going to julienne the old carrot?
I'm going to Julienne the celery first.
Celery
It's,
first, okay.
Probably the simplest.
Okay, cool. Right. Well, let's get on with that celery julienning then.
So we're going to take the end off where it's really white and put that in our waste box.
Beautiful.
And you've got to think at this point, sort of what sort of length do you want your celery? I want mine to stick out the bowl a little bit. So
So a little bit of measuring here, but just rough measuring. No measuring tapes required.
and then, as I said, it's quite simple with the celery. You just kind of follow the line. Think about what sort of thickness you want. You don't want them so small that they don't really amount to anything.
Yeah.
But you don't want them super fat.
Still using your kind of standard sort of safety chopping techniques here.
That's it. It's claw going on here.
Yeah.
You can just sort of arrange them in there. We did think as well a shot glass might look quite good as well for this.
Yeah, I quite fancied the shot glass idea, but you kind of poo-pooed that one, really, didn't you?
Shot
Me down in flames and said, no, I'm going to
traditional.
go with your bowls.
You know, I'm no hipster. Alright, I'll leave that to you.
Well, I haven't got a beard like a hipster, so there's no way I could be one of those, is there?
Well, you're going to have to work on
If anyone remembers Dave Blackburn, he was a hipster, wasn't he?
that. And there you go. I'm sure you could probably arrange them better, but for...
Well, you see, that's why the shot glass might have worked quite well, mightn't it?
you can get a shot glass.
Can I get a shot glass out? Just try it, just in case it does look half decent. Alright, so you haven't cut them long enough to fit in the shot glass
Perhaps
properly,
these
have you?
long ones, yeah. Lovely, it's like a bouquet of flowers.
It is, that's not bad, is it? That's not bad.
So next we've got the cucumber. These are pretty self-explanatory as well. Again, just think about the length.
Yeah. So that's a nice tunnel situation you're going on there, isn't it, with the health and safety?
That's right. And then what I do, you always want flat things with chopping.
Yeah.
So
Flat side to the chopping board.
exactly. I nearly.
You're going to go straight into your sofrito.
I was going to sofrito,
Sofrito and cucumber.
which leads me to my next point. Actually, is that if you've learnt how to sofrito, this should be very easy because julienne is one of the steps in sofrito.
It is almost like your kind of first stage, isn't it? Very nice. Yeah, it's one thing we didn't really practice much, isn't it? Is trying to make them look good in the bowl. But you know, it's something for another episode, isn't it? Presentation.
I think if you almost get it to kind of fan out a bit and just sort of keep sticking them in there after that. I mean, that's, it's good enough to eat, isn't it?
It's organic, isn't it? It's free range.
Rustic.
You know? Yeah, rustic. That's the word, Junior. Rustic. Look at that. That is a whole rustic bowl of cucumber.
And so carrots, they're probably the hardest thing to julienne. I'm just
Right.
topping and tailing them
Yeah.
with the claw. And then I'm going to peel them.
So you've got to peel these carrots, haven't you, to sort of get
Absolutely.
this effect.
Other than when you're roasting them, sometimes leaving the skin on can be quite nice.
Yeah. Little wash first, perhaps.
Yeah. And so we're kind of going for the slices here, using the tunnel.
Yeah.
And with carrot, you've got to think, you don't want too chunky a bit really.
No, they're a bit different to the cucumber and the celery, aren't they?
I mean, they're mostly water, aren't they?
Yeah, absolutely.
But carrots got a bit more substance to them. I've gone for quite a long one too, as well. You might want to go a bit thinner. And so I'm using that tunnel again, and that helps when you are slicing them to keep it all together.
Yeah.
So, and then again, using that flat side, I'll do some a bit thinner this time. It's just really keeping your eye on it as you're going.
I mean, that's the thing, isn't it? It's up to you. You can go thick or thin, have a little bit of a mixture of the two in your bowl.
I mean, that's a bit more like a matchstick, isn't it? And you could roast that.
You could. Or you could just eat it right now, couldn't you?
Certainly could. So that's it for the Julienne.
Delicious. Fantastic. Excellent. I think that's very nice. Obviously, do as many or as little as you like.
Exactly.
I can't speak properly now because I'm eating one of your Julienne carrots. Very nice, by the way. I like the thin ones. Okay, so we'll be back in a minute, showing you what you can dip these little fellas into.
See you later.
Okay, so we've done our Julienne veg, and we're now going to make a little pesto to just show you what you can kind of make to dip your Julienne veg into. Do you want to talk us through the ingredients? Because it's pretty straightforward, isn't it?
It's pretty straightforward, yeah. It's about 5 or 6 ingredients. It's usually always the same for a pesto. And we're using wild garlic today. That's obviously where the green comes from. It's quite dark because we've frozen it. And it's suitable for freezing, wild garlic.
We picked a load of it, didn't we? Between March and May, you can pick it, and we picked loads. So we've
Tons
got
of it.
bags full of it in the freezer.
Yeah.
Obviously, normally a lot of people would associate pesto with basil. That's your traditional sort of pesto. We're doing the wild garlic version. If you're doing a basil one, the only other ingredient would be garlic.
Garlic, that's it. We've got obviously wild garlics, we've got the garlic flavour, we've got some toasted hemp seeds here as well.
Fantastic.
We've got some cashews, feel free to toast or roast them if you wish. We've got some extra virgin olive oil. It's quite important it is extra virgin. Adds a nice flavour.
You do need a good bit of extra virgin olive oil. And your nutritional flakes.
That's right.
Fantastic ingredient. I can highly recommend these for pretty much everything really. Nice sort of mild cheesy flavour.
Mild, cheesy, nutty flavour. Get them very cheap on the internet.
Wicked. So what are we going to do with all this stuff then?
Well, we're just simply going to blend it all up together.
So the whole lot goes in the blender?
Yep, add a few chilli flakes afterwards. Perfect.
Fantastic. Okay, Junior, let's get this in the blender.
Okay, we'll start with the hemp seeds. So that's probably a small handful of hemp seeds there.
Fantastic.
And a small handful of cashews.
We will put the recipes up on the YouTube channel as well.
And then we've got, I think it's about 120 grams of
Wild garlic.
Wild garlic.
I think you're right. He's actually going to measure his nutritional flakes. I've never seen him do that before, and he just chucks them in.
We go for a couple of heaped tablespoons.
Beautiful.
And juice of a lemon.
Right, so that's a whole lemon.
It's a whole lemon.
Nicely juiced, Junior. Obviously being careful not to get them seeds in there.
No. No one likes a lemon pip.
No, that's unpleasant. And a little bit of salt.
That's it.
We've got a micro teaspoon, haven't we? So
Yeah, I usually go for about a teaspoon.
About
That's
a teaspoon.
perfect.
fantastic.
Okay, so we're all in. We just need a bit of oil to get it going. Then we can add that through the spout as the blades are spinning.
Wicked. Just going to loosen up the whole procedure there, isn't it?
Exactly.
Wicked. Right, so I think you're on.
We're secured, so always make sure your blender's clicked in. It probably won't start until it is clicked in.
Safety feature.
And same for the lid. That just clicks in. It's a bit of a faff, isn't it?
It is a bit of a faff, but I think they make it a bit of a faff so that you can't hurt yourself.
Exactly.
Which is good, isn't it?
Yeah. Safety first.
On it, lock on, Junior.
It's quite a thick mixture, so we're going to add some more olive oil just to loosen that up. It seems an appropriate point to have a little taste, so I'm going to go for that. It's tasting pretty good.
Nice one. Fantastic.
I'll just get another spoon for seniors to try.
Does it need a bit more of a blend, or is that it? Are we done?
I think that's good. It's nice to have a little bit of texture in there, you know.
Fantastic. Oh, well, look, got another spoon there. Thank you very much. Just have a little taste of that yourself. That is delicious, but I think it could do with a little bit more of a blend.
A bit more of a blend?
Just a little pulse. Beautiful. That looks fantastic, Jenny. Right, here we go then. So I'm just going to dollop a little bit of this beautiful pesto into the bowl. Because, you know, it doesn't look quite that nice, does it, in the old blender? You've got to get it in a little bowl like that. It's got to look lovely. You like a few little chilli flakes on it, don't you?
I do indeed.
Yeah. I think that's what you were looking for. Taste it. Look at that, stirring them in and everything. Fantastic. Beautiful. Well, I think probably all we need to do then, really, Junior, is get one of our little Juliennes, give them a little dip. Absolutely beautiful. No double dipping now. Right, so next we're going to make a little hummus. Something else that's really nice to dip those Julienne veg into, isn't it?
Bit of a fan favourite of ours, isn't it?
Absolutely. So what ingredients have we got going on in this thing, Junior?
Okay, so we've got tin cooked chickpeas.
Cool.
I've taken some of them out of a can to reserve the liquid in the can, which is called
Aquafaba.
aquafaba.
One of the nicest words in the English language, isn't it? Aquafaba.
The story behind aquafaba is a French baker in Paris. He actually discovered it was a really interesting ingredient in food, and he named it aquafaba. Sounds quite French, doesn't it?
It does sound quite French.
Aquafaba.
Yeah, aquafaba.
And so
Lovely stuff.
we've got the olive oil to sort of loosen it up,
Yeah.
add a bit of richness to it. Tahini really thickens it up.
Yeah.
You might not have heard of tahini, but it's sesame seeds toasted and blended in oil.
Beautiful.
And then we've got smoked paprika, that's just going to go on the top.
Right, yeah, just to make it look beautiful.
Yep. Bit of garlic. Really, you can sort of vary the garlic, 2 cloves minimum
Cool.
for a can. And 1 lemon, juice
One
off.
lemon, juice off. Probably
And some
a
salt.
little bit of salt.
At least half a teaspoon, I'm fine.
At least half a teaspoon. Cool, again, so, you know, very few ingredients. And again, this lot is really just going to go in the blender, isn't it?
Yep. All
Fantastic. Okay, so we've got all our hummus ingredients over now. What's going into that blender first, Junior?
Okay, so first of all is the garlic. I've obviously topped and tailed and peeled it. The reason we do the garlic first is so you don't have loads of massive spicy chunks going on in your hummus.
Right, got it. That gets a bit of a whiz round first.
Yeah.
Nice one. It's well blitzed, that, Junior.
So you're just looking for it to be kind of minced, almost, really. And then pretty much everything else, other than the olive oil, goes in at this point.
That's your 2 cans of chickpeas going in there.
So yeah, that's it. 2 cans of chickpeas, a nice big tablespoon of tahini. What I usually do is if I'm doing just the 1 can of chickpeas, I just do a small tablespoon.
Right.
But if I'm doing a big can, I do a big heaped one.
Right, got it.
Okay, so we'll just do a quick check. We've got tahini in there, we've got the chickpeas, lemon juice is going in.
Garlic was in there right at the very start.
Yep.
Do we need any aquafaba in there?
We don't need any aquafaba at the moment because it stops the chickpeas breaking down as much.
Oh, okay. Right.
So if you just blend them as they are. And once that's on the right track, you just want to scrape the sides down. You just run a cake spatula around it. Yeah. It's nice and smooth. You can sort of just check the situation out with the spatula. Nice and smooth.
Checking your thickness levels and smoothness and all that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
It's a satisfying viscosity today.
Beautiful.
Okay, and then once it's blending,
Yep.
you can start to add the olive oil. I just measure by eye until it looks a bit smoother.
Sure.
You can go too far with it, and all it tastes like is olive oil. So
Yeah. Strong flavour olive oil, isn't it?
be careful. It's a strong flavour, but it should sort of just loosen up a bit.
What
You'll
about
notice.
what about that aquafaba and the salt?
And the aquafaba and the salt, they'll go in last.
Okay.
And the aquafaba is really that last bit of loosening up
Got it.
to get it sort of more palatable.
Cool.
So you can just check at this point, make sure it's on the right track.
Fantastic. Looks beautiful, gotta say. So we will go at it.
It's pretty smooth, isn't it? It's nice and smooth.
That is well smooth. That is smoother than a smooth pea.
And so you notice it's a little bit thick though, isn't it? It's kind of
See, it is still slightly thick, yeah. But,
not quite dib level yet.
No, absolutely.
But after a bit of aquafaba, I'll do the salt now as well.
Right, salt's going in.
About half a teaspoon. Again, good to check at this point.
So that's
What's the
not a lot of
consistency?
aquafaba in there, is it?
No.
That's, I don't know, probably just a couple of tablespoons, really, isn't it? I do see what you mean. Now that is now ultra smooth, isn't
Yes, yeah.
it? Beautiful.
And you want it you don't want to add all your aquafaba because if you have it too runny, obviously that's not going to stick to what you're dipping in it.
Dipping could be a real problem, couldn't
Yep.
it? Yeah, a bit more of a running rather than a dipping.
Lovely.
Okay, so here we are at the table with our hummus and our nice bowl. Get it in there, Junior. Okay, cake spatula, essential item.
It's changed my life having a cake spatula.
Do you want to take that from me? I'll dispose of that.
You know, it may sound a trifle sad, but some of the tasks that you perform in a kitchen have just made so much easier.
Yeah, life is
By
made a
a
lot
cake
easier by the addition of a cake spatula, isn't it? Beautiful, absolutely beautiful. Right, so a little bit of paprika on
A
top.
little bit of paprika going on.
And it's not essential, that you don't have to do that,
No, not at all.
but it doesn't half make it look good, and it just adds a little kind of extra dimension to the flavour.
A lot of things you can do actually to make your chickpeas look very good. Little drizzle of olive oil, bit of paprika.
Yeah.
Save some chickpeas, roast them in the oven and put them on top.
Yeah,
That's another good
people
bit
do
of
that a lot.
coriander
We
as
don't
well.
do that much, I do it, because Mrs. Mother don't like the whole ones.
No.
She don't like them whole. She likes them ground down into anything, but if you put a chickpea in a curry, a stew, anywhere, she's not having it, is she?
Not at all.
But in about 10 minutes, she'll have probably polished off that whole tub of hummus, won't she? Right, shall we try a bit then? With
Let's
our
do it.
beautifully crafted Julienne veg. Now, what a great way to get a load of really healthy veg inside you. Fantastic, beautiful. So, last but not least, this kind of thing is probably going to be like a bit of a table decoration type of thing, isn't it? So, Junior here is going to turn that into that, which I thought was like a swan, but Junior thought it was more like a
dragon.
A dragon, which on St George's Day or something would be rather apt, wouldn't it?
Absolutely.
Right, Junior, show us how it's done then.
Okay, so you start with the apple, using the tunnel technique. You want to take it at a bit of a diagonal angle. just right through the middle.
Right, okay.
And if you're lucky, you'll be able to get the seeds out quite nice and easy. They'll be useful a bit later.
Cool.
Those are rubbish seeds though, so you know.
No, they are quite small, but I'm sure we could use them, could we?
Absolutely. And then what I believe happens at this stage is we very low down, you want to sort of cut an L shape into the apple, and then you cut straight down.
Oh, I see. Okay, so you're sort of cutting a bit of a wedge out of that thing, aren't you?
That's it. And then hopefully that should just pop out.
Beautiful.
And you want to leave a nice chunk in the middle because we're going to cut into that a bit later as well.
Right.
So you're kind of cutting straight down or straight horizontally.
Either way, I presume.
And then I was using the claw for that.
Yeah, always keep it safe.
Again, using the claw and keeping your fingers nice and high.
And then just pushing those little
Okay,
fellas out.
We pop those out, and then you can see that's sort of going to be the base for our wings, really. Don't worry if it's not perfectly even.
So that's your kind of body, isn't it, really?
That's correct.
Right.
And then what we're going to do is we're going to see where that line is, and we're going to come in a bit and do exactly the same thing. You've got to be really careful at this point with your knife that you don't just chop straight through.
Right, so it's all about taking this nice and slowly, isn't it?
Exactly.
Don't rush it, take your time with it.
And then we're going to do that for a third time. This one's probably going to be the hardest to measure.
Oh, because it's quite a little one, this, isn't it?
It's quite fine, yeah. And it's all about popping it out as well without just destroying the rest of the slices.
So it's all about doing this gently.
I found in my first dragon attempt, it was a bit sort of, some of the slices were coming undone, and I was
Okay.
the structure was tricky.
Yeah. But you know, if we're totally honest, you haven't made hundreds of these, have you?
It's my first one today.
And this would be your second, I assume.
Yeah.
So Puff the Magic Dragon over here was your first attempt, and this is your second.
And there we go. I mean, I've just kind of snapped that out of there. I didn't cut all the way through.
No, you weeded it out.
It still came out. And then I'm doing that last one here. And that's come out quite nicely, I think. See, I've lost the bottom there. I've cut too far in. But it's not the end of the world because it still sort of stays together if you're very gentle.
So if you do get a little bit of separation in your little kind of wedges there for your wings, it's not the end of the world, is it?
No, not at all. And you're just pushing these at sort of even intervals back out a little bit to make them sort of really stand out. You can kind of see there, I'll just spin that round. Those are my wings, really.
Yeah, I mean that's, you know, it's quite impressive, isn't it, really? Because it's not, you've made that look quite easy, Junior.
It's, you know, with a few basic knife skills, it's quite simple, really.
Absolutely.
Kind of sofrito with an onion is quite a good practice technique for this if you don't want to start off directly going for a
Because apples, they're quite hard to slice like that, aren't they? Whereas an onion is easy, so you could practice your sofrito slicing techniques on an onion first.
I mean, it's that sort of coming from beneath those horizontal slices. It all adds together. Really.
Yeah.
So we're on to the next step. We're going to cut a groove in here, and I last time didn't cut one that was very wide.
Right.
So you want to sort of cut a V here. If anyone's ever cored an apple without an apple corer,
Similar technique.
again, similar technique. And obviously you're going to want to be careful at this point because you might lose your wings otherwise.
Yeah, you don't want to go in too far, do you? Or knock all your wings off. But I suppose, you know, you can rebuild him again, can't you?
You could say at this point, don't be like Icarus, flying too close to the sun.
Very nice, Junior.
Or your wings will be lost.
So he looks a bit headless at the moment.
Exactly, he's headless, but that's what we're coming on to next.
Cool.
So we take that other half of the apple and we're trying to cut a thin slice out the bottom here. Again, this is where that Frito will come in handy.
Nice.
Just sawing. But obviously being really careful as you come towards the end because your hand is
Absolutely.
safe there. You could lift it like that. That'd be another good way.
But you know, again, you're just taking it nice and slow and gently on it. And also, knife here. You don't want a great big knife that you normally use for your chopping and your Frito stuff.
A small paring knife.
Yeah.
It's just right.
Yeah.
One like that's good as a fish knife. It's quite good.
Just removing the little stem out the top there.
That's it. And so at this point you want to kind of study the shape of your apple. It's kind of like a love heart really. And you can see here it's rather a bit like a head, isn't it? But you need to get a beak going on there.
Oh, of course. Yeah.
So if you sort of follow that line.
Yeah. Yeah, can see that.
And then think, okay.
So this is really where your kind of artistic prowess comes in, isn't it?
That's it. If you're very arty, this is going to be a breeze.
But you know, I imagine that if this all went, it all went wrong at this late stage, you have still got quite a large bit of apple left.
Exactly. Yeah.
So you can just have another go, can you?
There's room for error.
Fantastic.
Okay, so I mean, I'm quite happy with that. I think that's roughly, you could do a bit of curvature in there if you wanted to, but I think, for art's sake, this will do. And then you want to just tuck this in your groove, as long as it stays.
You went the wrong way around, didn't you?
Although my head is the wrong way around.
People have often said that about you, haven't
The pressure's gone to me.
they? Nice.
And at this point, what you want is an apple seed. I don't have one, so I'm going to steal one from my earlier creation. And I'm just going to lay this flat and sort of press it in and embed it in the apple. You might be able to find a better way to do this, but that's how I've done
So you just press him in there and then you've got the eye.
Voila.
Well, I must admit, Junior, that is very nice.
Do you think I've improved?
I think you
The
have,
second one.
but I think you really have. I mean, that definitely looks more graceful. It's got more of a swan-like neck,
Yeah.
whereas I did like your dragon. I thought he was very nice. And I imagine you could make all sorts of different heads for any kind of creature that's got wings.
Absolutely,
It doesn't matter, does it?
Yeah,
There's
we're
all,
doing-
there's all sorts of things.
Maybe we'll do hedgehogs next week.
Hedgehog, they haven't got wings, something. No. Well, perhaps we should do hedgehogs, but we could do that with the Julienne veg stuck in some kind of vegetable.
Yeah.
Maybe that'd be.
Yeah.
Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed this episode of the
Junior and Senior Munford Cooking Show.
See you next time, guys.
Junior, Senior, Munford Cooking Show.